everyone, welcome to Wreck This Journal number 8! If you're not yet caught up on the series, I will list the entire playlist below so you can see what I've done over the weeks. There have been a lot of creative pages. Wreck This Journal number 7 was a little bit different, and I kind of have 2 of them now. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you already know why. On Friday, I posted a stained glass crayon tutorial that was really cool. So if you never want to miss a video from me, join the family by clicking the red subscribe button below and also the bell icon so you can be notified every single time I upload. And if you want to show your SoCraftastic support, give this video a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoyed the video and help get this video spread around YouTube. It encourages the YouTube system to recommend it to more viewers. Now we're already set, let's wreck / decorate / just create things. Okay, let's go. First up is do some rubbings with a pencil. I decided to finally purchase this Spirograph art kit. I had been passing it in the aisle at Michael's for quite a few weeks, and it was kind of more than I wanted to spend on it, but then I finally got a 50% off coupon and I'm like, I'm gonna get it today. It comes in this really colorful tin and it has an instruction booklet, a sketch pad, and then all of these little items in it to create Spirograph art. I used the sticky tack that came with it to hold the outer circle down, and then I put a little circle inside with the holes and I spun it around with the pen inside and created a Spirograph. This is the very first one I tried out and it worked perfectly, but then I tried to do a second layer with a red pen and I messed up at the very last loop there and totally ruined it. And this went on to happen a few more times. As you can see here, this was my test page and I messed up a ton. They are not as easy as I thought they would be. But after some practice, I did get the hang of it and got a little bit better. I still had some mess ups, but I was able to get quite a few nice ones. On the one that turned out well, I decided to darken the lines a little bit so I could have an indent in the paper. And then I put a piece of white computer paper over that and I rubbed over it with a pencil like the page said. I think it turned out pretty good. You can see all the details in the lines and it looks exactly like the one that's on the page underneath. Aside from just a regular pencil, I also went in with colored pencils. I made this one multicolor and then I just did a plain blue one here and a kind of fuchsia one with Crayola pencils just to test and see if one was better than the other versus Prismacolor. They both work. I tested out a few more. I finally got a double colored one to work without ruining it. I cut out a few of my favorites, leaving a little bit of a white border around them, and I just placed them on the page in the design I wanted and glued them down with a glue stick. I do think the page looks a little plain like this, so I also did some rubbings with a star sticker, but when I put those on the page, I wasn't sure if I wanted to leave them or not, so they're not glued down yet. Let me know if you think it looks better with or without the stars, but I do want to add more to this later on. I just don't have any inspiration to actually commit to anything, so I'm gonna wait until something comes to me. Next, I'm gonna do a couple of the pages where you actually cut them out and turn them into something. Here I'm tearing out the Make a Funnel page and I'm using my scissors, of course, to cut around the outline as close to it as possible. After cutting that shape out, I rolled it and got some Scotch tape so I could secure it, and I paid attention to the bottom because there is a little bit of a hole there, and since we're going to be putting water in it, you want to make sure that it can't drip out too quickly. It's still going to drip unless you really seal it up, but I just did a pretty quick job on this. I mean, after all, I'm going to untape it and put it back in the book, so I didn't want to waste time making it totally leak-proof. I filled up a Dixie cup with some marbles and set the funnel inside. Then I poured in some Brita water and I then took it over to my filming area and drank from it. You can see it is dripping a little bit, but nothing crazy. Drinking out of a book page is not very tasty. It did have a weird bookish aftertaste, not like I've ever drank from a book page before, but the paper aftertaste is just kind of strange. Then I untaped it, and after it was dry enough, I took my washable Crayola markers and just doodled along the edge. I decided to do different blues to tie in with a water theme. Then I filled up a dropper with some water and dripped that all over the ink and let it run down. And I also moved the paper around to encourage the water drips of color to spread to the different areas that I wanted them to. And I also took advantage of the colorful water that was left on the paper bag and I just dunked the paper in that a few times face down and pressed it in so I could get a little bit more color payoff. Once I was happy with the design, I took a blow dryer to the page and dried it completely. I was going for a similar look to my shower with the book page, by the way. The other tear out page I'm doing is the Crumble, aka turn this into a paper ball and then unfold it again. For this one, I decided to use some soap colorant, and if you guys want to kind of recreate this look and you don't have soap colorant, you could also use food coloring or ink dyes if you have those. Alcohol inks, that's what I was trying to think of, wow. Anyway, I first dripped the soap colorant onto the page directly, and then I decided to take wax paper that was actually left over from my crayon wax paper project, the stained glass stuff, and I dripped a few colors on there. I tried to keep this to a pinky purple blue color scheme. Using a type of liquid dye on wax paper will cause it to bead like this and spread out into different little dots, so when you press the paper onto it, you get a really cool effect, and it looks like this. I concentrated the design on top. You'll see why later. It's just the way that I'm going to glue them into the book. I didn't really need to do anything on the bottom. Then I just crumpled it up, and I usually say crumble, but anyway, I made it into a paper ball like so. And the secret ingredient to get my cat ready for this was catnip. Leo, are you ready for this? Are you ready? This is Leo, for any of you who have not met him, and he will chase a paper ball, but not like this unless there's catnip in it. Leo, we can't see you, buddy.
He's coming at it.
Bless you. Come here. Leo, come here. Don't shred it. You jerk. Oh my gosh, good. He didn't get the words. He didn't get the words. You're the best, Leo. You get the words and you are done. And here you can see the actual green catnip stains at the bottom. I think it actually looks pretty cool with the design, and I was able to get that to fit on the page where I glued them both. So a little bit of Leo is in the book. He helped me with it. And to tie the page together after I glued these two in, I put some black doodles with a micron pen, and they're just very random spirals, dots, and kind of triangular sun shapes. I decided only to do the left edge and keep the right blank for now. I may fill that in later, but I think the contrast between black and white looks pretty cool. Finally, for this video, I'm going to doodle over one of these pages, and I chose the copyright page right here. Instead of doodling, I'm using paint, so I'm doing a painting over the copyright page. I'm using various shades of blue along with white and black to create a night sky that kind of looks like a galaxy. And I chose to use a sponge brush for this painting instead of a paintbrush because I feel like blending with a sponge brush is a lot easier because the paint actually sucks into the sponge and stays there. So after applying the white, I dipped the brush in the lightest blue and just put that around the edges like so. I put only a little bit of blue at first so the white would come through and blend in with it, and then I put it back in the light blue and put that around the edges like I'm doing here. This will create a very nice gradient effect. You just want to keep moving on to a darker and darker shade gradually, of course. I did happen to make the white and light blue areas on the page much too big, and by the time I got to the darkest blues and black, there was hardly any on the page. So I let it dry, and then I went back in and fixed it because it kind of looked like a daytime sky here instead of night. While it was drying, I added the black at the bottom to work as the silhouette part that you'll see soon. Now I'm going back in and creating more of a dark area, and after that was completely dry, I put white on a paintbrush and I took the bristles and just kind of flung them. But you do want to be careful with this that you don't have too much paint on, because you could accidentally drip like this and then you'll have to fix that area, which is not fun. But I did manage to do the touch-ups pretty well, and then I went in with a toothpick or wooden dowel and I made some dots for bigger stars. The very last thing I did was paint little tiny pine tree silhouettes, and here you can see I'm painting a little house. And now it is complete. I'm so happy with the way this turned out. I think that this is one of my favorite pages in the book. I definitely want to do some more paintings before this series is over, and more drawings too. Let me know in the comments section below which page from this particular video was your absolute favorite. The Spirograph, the paper cup, the crumbled one, or this one. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, give a like below to let me know, please. And if you need more stuff to watch from my channel, I will put all the links to my Wreck This Journal series, water candle, crayon, stained glass, and scratch art DIY below. So much stuff, you guys will never be bored. I'll be coming back at you Friday and Sunday with 2 new videos, so I hope to see you back. Have a great rest of the day. Goodbye. I'm slipping. I have an itch on my head now. I have an itch on my nose.